Yes, Miss Louise. I see we on again. So what's on the menu tonight?
Yes, I'm looking.
Yes, it's working, man. Don't look as if you can't see anything. It is working. It is working.
Yes. So, Lisa sent this delicious looking pizza
All right. Look at that. Look at that. Our daughter.
made with love and lots of ingredients.
Yes.
This may sound boastful, but she is as good as any pizza place.
If not better
Oh, you
than
said it.
any pizza place.
You said it.
But today was a day when things came to the home. Eh? We had Natasha and Panther bringing
Lunch.
barbecue and lunch for us, you know. We have had Dale Tech selling up stuff. We have had in the past Michael Zambrano sisters favoring us with things. I tell you, there's no lack of care in this place for us. And Lasana's bit of pizza is right here in this plate. He's gonna have it too. So, wow. All of that for me? Okay. Oh, right, and this piece will be for Sana then. Okay, better center that there a little bit and we'll cover that, right? Let me just cover it there. Good for Sana, man. Yes. So, oh no, that's not gonna work.
You need a bigger one.
Yes, sorry.
But this pizza has on it bacon, mincemeat, tomatoes, jalapeno peppers, pineapple. The works, man.
It works.
And most of all, an important ingredient is love.
Love.
Made with love.
Love. I know I can't sit long as Louise here, but I'm coming. I am coming. I gotta put something in my eyes so that I can really see that pizza, you know?
And like it's a silent movie.
No. So, all these nice things went into this pizza, and you could quietly say your grace, Louise, if you like, you know. Very good. So, my friends,
By team.
we can't share it with you physically, but we can tell you that if you were here, we are sure.
If Lasana was here, you'd give it a real condition. Dustin.
You have done a really good job.
But I can tell you is that the jalapeno peppers have it spicy, man.
Excuse me. That's
Wow.
one thing you know. You can't help but get up all the time because you're not prepared fully. Wow.
Wow. This is really spicy.
At least tonight we have napkins in the house. Sometimes we don't have napkins. And so this is looking a little too nice, but it's okay.
It tastes good.
What, a napkin?
Yeah.
What? You are very hungry. Putting your daughter set up pizza.
Wow. But it is delicious.
Oh yes. Thank you very much for inquiring about my health, and I seem to be recovering, but there's this persistent nagging pain in my right side of my hip there. I did a little rub down a while ago, and I think it emanates from a vertebrae. So we'll see how it goes. Somebody wrote saying that they had spinal surgery some years ago, and it didn't really help. So it's not an option I'm going to look at. But I can sit and enjoy this pizza and be quiet. Thank you.
Of course.
Don't eat too fast, because I'm not sharing mine. Don't eat too fast.
Okay.
Take your time. Mmm.
Well good.
Welcome time.
Thank you.
Boy, it is spicy. Sorry, I lost your cork here. Wow. But delicious.
Spicy and delicious. Spicy and delicious.
Lisa's a very good cook. She cooks like her grandmother, my mother. Would you say Lisa cooks like you?
No. It's amazing how genes is very powerful. Because Lisa did not grow up with mother, because mother died while Lisa was still young. But she cooks like her grandmother. She acts like her grandmother. So genes in her grandmother's genes is very strong in her. Even the way she cooks.
Wow, Louis, this is fun.
If you don't want, just take it off.
No. I'm enjoying it. I'm not complaining already.
But it's really hot.
It's delicious. So, I was going to take you to dinner tonight, But it's nice to carry out your madam to a little dinner, eh? But
Pizza came instead.
pizza came instead, yeah.
That's fine. Once I'm in your company, that's fine.
Now I could say I was going to take you out because, would you believe it?
Why not?
Okay.
You take me out and I pay with the credit card. Your credit card.
I take her out and I pay with my credit card, which is also your credit card. Come on.
Thursday you took me out. Your money is my money. My money is your money.
You know, I wanted to gather up this evening all the photographs we had, the actual photographs of when we went to Disney World, Magic Kingdom, Sea World,
Epcot
Center, where Lyndon, took his girls these past days. Because looking at Lyndon's videos, Lyndon and Kim, I beg your pardon, Lyndon and Kim, yeah, took the girls. And those will be memories that they will have, I guess, throughout their lifetime. The things that they shared as kids, they will truly remember that their folks took them to these places. Because at their age now, they will hardly return to those places in the States, in Florida, for the next couple of years. Well, Well, not a couple of years, but perhaps for
the next time they'll go, they'll be better able to appreciate.
But it wouldn't be the same, It wouldn't be the same. Because when we took Lyndon back the second time.
No. When Lyndon went back the third time as an adult, it wasn't the same. The first time he went, he was 4.
Okay.
And the next time he went, he was like 7 or 8. So it was very memorable. But when he went back as a teenager, of course he was alone with us. It was not the same for him. The fun is doing it together with your siblings, The rides, the laughing at each other, who's screaming.
Right. So I wanted to gather up these photographs I thought it would have been a wonderful memory lane project, you know, showing the different places we had been. Maybe I'll still do it later on before England comes back, so we could, you know, revisit, you know. You ain't too fast, have this.
No, I'll just take a bite.
Okay, take a bite. Thank you. So if I had taken you out to dinner tonight, which I didn't, of course, which was a good thing, what would you have liked to have for a meal? Chinese food?
I haven't had a big lunch. I think this pizza is just hit the spot.
No, but if the pizza wasn't around,
I would have been satisfied and happy to
the crackers,
would eat some bread and cheese. Because we had a very big lunch.
right?
So next time when we have soup for
Can I have
lunch.
another napkin, please? Hold.
Next time when we have soup for lunch, you could take more for dinner. A big meal on a big meal is not so easy.
Yeah, a big meal on a big meal. Sanna's gonna like that though. It's fiery. Lisa, girl, thanks.
Delicious, as usual. Very good.
Yes, man. Well, the house is very quiet tonight.
No live show.
No live shows. We're not complaining, eh? We're not complaining, right?
No.
But it's very quiet. It's very quiet. It's very quiet. I wonder what some of these girls doing. Dolly and Susie and Allison and Deborah
Resting, I guess.
and Jenny and Judy and whatever the hell they're doing.
Resting.
Allison, Mohammed. And
Resting for tomorrow morning.
have a good night rest because Sarah is coming at you.
Fully loaded.
But you know what I like about the channel? It's really reaching out to people and it's creating that family. Somebody wrote saying, you know, you're now into the YouTube family, right? And we hope that this family will continue to grow in love and in care, you know. Which brings me to something I want to do tonight. I was looking at some of the comments on a video we did yesterday. Excuse me. We did a video yesterday entitled something about Culinary and plantain. And there were some interesting comments, really. Maybe it's something I wanted to do a little while now because some people write, some people comment, and usually there's a story, and I always say, you know, there's always a story on hand. And I just want to share and see if I can build a response to something. And I need your help, Louise, okay? This is something that we would have done at the Express in the old days. Somebody might have written in a letter to the editor, and in that letter there's a pertinent issue. And in that pertinent issue, we get a story out of it. So let's see now. Let's see what we could pick up in some of those comments. Right?
Don't call me.
No. Okay. So this is Culinary, fried plantain, and get well messages. Send in love. But I want to look at two comments in particular. Okay, for instance, my niece Rose, and I call her name because she's my niece. She says that humor plays such an important part in our lives. It really helps with coping with life's experiences. Pekong played a major part in our lives. Pekong played a major part in our lives. And that's really true. Humor and Pekong, as we know it in Trinidad, it's a friendly banter that we share. Of course, perhaps it's losing our flavor now.
Yeah, I would say so.
People want to be so politically correct that it's no longer visible. For instance, I think of an American program that Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Don Rickles had, and it was Man of the Hour. It was called the Roast of Man of the Hour, and in that particular platform, anything went. If your politician was there and he was being toasted, he would eventually be roasted. Right? I have seen where Don Rickles, he played a lot of Pekong, to use our language, on even Ronald Reagan, and it was humor at its height. Humor at its height. The hall was filled with guests, all dressed in their three-piece suit or whatever, and everyone was laughing. Can you imagine a hall full of people, and everyone is just enjoying the humor at someone's expense? Because usually the days would have had about 6 or 8 people up there, and this man Don Rickles would be, he would be issuing remarks at everyone on the stage, right? And in one particular episode, he said, my humor is aggressive, but it's not malicious.
That's great.
And when Don Rickles passed away, people recognized that sense of humor, America lost it. Okay?
Yeah.
And I would say that even in Trinidad, this sense of humor, this Pekong that we carry, it didn't rank in the old days as though it was malicious.
It was friendly.
It was friendly. But as you say now, you want to be so politically correct that you don't see the humor. And you begin to look behind the humor now to see what's the message, what's the hidden message.
Yes, I find that is a little difficult for me to take in. When something is said and how it is read is so far from what you intended. I find it frightening that one could eventually feel that I better don't say anything because it will be ripped to shreds.
Yes.
And maybe that's why everybody's so careful and guarded now.
Yes.
Because we did not have that experience when we were, teasing each other. What's the word they were using?
What, Pekong?
Pekong.
Yeah.
Because Pekong was done years ago, maybe up to 20, 30 years ago, people, you give a lot of Pekong. And you and I still do it, and we do it maybe with an older age group.
Right.
But younger people read things so differently to what we intend.
The Corbies used to, sorry, finish your remark.
Yeah, and because of having to be so careful and so politically correct, it can just make you change your personality.
Well, the humor is
spontaneous.
Is erased at that point.
Yeah.
But the Corbies, they were a big family from Diamond Vale, and they would come to Cora and everybody would be just there gathered around. And the kind of jokes that went around, it was a pleasure to have that family. Tanti Fidencia, she and Uncle Serapio, they had about maybe 16 to 17 children,
Wow, that's a big family.
It was a big family.
2 families.
And the boys would come to Cora there, and they had the guitar, their quattro, their shack, and their bottle and spoon. Okay, bottle and spoon. You don't even see that again, eh?
No.
Unless you go maybe into the countryside, maybe beach or somewhere, or Rio Claro. I don't know. But that was a regular thing long ago. We all had our own little musical band. Nothing professional,
Yeah.
but it was good. So when Rose talks about humor playing an important part in our lives, helping with coping with life's experiences, there are things you're going to have to laugh off, you know. You're going to have to laugh off a lot of issues. Someone was asking this morning, I think they were throwing the question at Mr. Sana. You know, how do you handle someone who argues and will not accept an apology? Okay? And I try to offer the suggestion that if I say something to you, and it's not a quarrel, because there's a significant difference between quarreling and arguing. If I'm quarreling with you, I will raise my voice and try to drown you out, and you do likewise, you get aggressive. But if you're arguing, you make a point, and I have a point, and we could come around to see whose point really is more feasible, right? And therefore, but if you are arguing, if you are quarreling, it could come to blows, because reason is lost along the way, aggression comes in, a blow might be passed.
And it's pointless.
And it's pointless. Very well said, very well said. Now,
Pointless, discuss any point.
the idea of an apology then, if I say, listen, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Louise, I'm sorry, right? Okay. That to me is not sufficient. I could be apologetic, but be aggressive at the same time. Okay, if I am apologizing and I'm aggressive, you take win. That's what I'm saying, you know. You take win, okay?
So it's not a real apology.
No, it doesn't come from the heart. But if I am sincere and I say, listen, dude, I'm really sorry, girl. Here what to do. I'll go out and buy you a pizza tonight. Right?
Drive.
But better than that, a pizza came home. No. But you know what I mean? If you're going to apologize, and you're sincere in your apology because you want to move on, you don't want to...
Your tone will say that you're sorry.
That's correct. Your tone will say that you're sorry.
Tone, that is why tone is very important in how we converse.
Okay.
Because your tone depicts what you're thinking.
Very good, very good. Now, what about the question of somebody accepting the apology? If the person doesn't really show that they care for the apology, then you who are the one apologizing, you have to say, well, I'm not responsible for that attitude.
Right.
I'm not responsible for your attitude of not desiring. But tomorrow morning, you are going to be unhappy because you have not, you have not moved on. I have moved on because I say it's important to have peace in the atmosphere, right? So even in that sense, you know. So now, there's something else I really would like to touch on.
You know what name you're looking for?
I think I will find it. I enjoyed Don Camacho's comment. I didn't know you were sick, but I thought you were not looking well, and I did not want to embarrass myself by asking Lasana, how I was doing. Dawn, my dear girl, I would never have felt offended. You see, when people take offense quickly, now if I had taken offense and it was in your heart to really find out, right? Trust us. With us, I think I could speak for Louise. Can I speak for you too?
Well, after 52 years, I would think so.
Right.
I'm not being sarcastic. But
Yeah. We're not going to be embarrassed if somebody thinks that I wasn't feeling well and told me. I would probably go in the mirror and say, she's right. She's right. I don't look well. So I would like to think, that if I am not thick-skinned enough, I would be offended. But as we move up in age, you got to realize that it's not worth being thin-skinned. It really is not worth being thin-skinned. So Dawn, I appreciate that you wanted to ask this question. And really, I know at times I did look sick, and I didn't feel well. And my smile would have would have convinced people that he really ain't feeling well, boy. So I'm glad anyway that you noticed, and you helped me with that. I'm trying to find something that I'm really.
It's much longer. Let me get it very quickly.
You think you could? Oh, you can't pull it. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Huh?
It was a long. So you scroll down one.
Yes. Yes. Hold on a second, please. Oh my goodness, where is it?
You're looking at the correct one?
Yes. Somebody says that the color you had on, Louise, that looks pretty good on you. Yes, and that was Deborah, Daddy Lance. How are you feeling now? I think I'm feeling a little better, Deborah. Appreciate your concern, and all these people like Sally Kumar and Joyce Jasmat. I thank you. Right. My goodness. Okay, I'm going to find it though.
Is that the last one?
I don't know.
Just take it out, Lance.
Sandra Mahadio. Let me read this here. I like this. Hi, good evening, Uncle and Auntie. I enjoy watching you both. All the jokes Uncle would say. I hope you get well soon because I know my husband. And then she mentioned that he has a little problem there, and I could relate to his problem about the heart. Well, I hope he does feel a lot better, right?
Let me help you on that.
Yes, see if you can find out.
You could talk by the time. Both of us don't have to look.
Yeah.
You go ahead and talk. You must have something else you could talk about.
Okay, I can see that the weather is pretty hot.
Anything you could talk about.
This is your water. Two very interesting pieces that we're trying to locate.
Well,
No, don't ask the names. I think the wording is what we have to get there.
Well,
Should I help you, Louise? Shall I help you?
no, hold on.
Yes, it's up to the top there. We had a visit today with this young lady. What is it?
That's it. It's long.
Okay. Thank you very much. Someone wrote, okay, it starts off with some things, but I'll just read this part. What a wonderful couple and beautiful family. Thank you very much for thinking that, and we hope we continue to express that. This warms my heart to see such a close-knit family. I am not close to my family members. Now, I take the liberty to read this because it's up for public viewing. So I don't think I'm stepping out of line, really. This warms my heart to see such a close-knit family. I am not close to my family members, unfortunately. For as long as I can remember, my parents have never really cared for me. When I read that, I felt very sad. I felt sad to think that this person would express that my family never cared for me. Sometimes families really,
Show favoritism.
they're perhaps a little careless in their sentiments. I knew of a family heading on the East-West corridor. And for years, this young lady, she didn't think that her parents paid her much mind. And when the mother died, we were visiting the father, and I saw that the girl was trying to take care of the father. She was a married woman, actually, with grown children. And I asked her what was wrong. And she said, I do all this for my dad, and I don't think he really appreciates me, and my mother's gone. I had the opportunity to say to the father, have you known that your daughter has been suffering all these years, believing that you don't care enough about her? And he was kind of appalled to think that he had not noticed that they were treating her this way. And he called her by name into the bedroom, and he said, called her by name, and he said, I didn't know that we were neglecting you, but I am very sorry. I'm not making excuses for parents who neglect children, but I want to say that perhaps there's so many issues at hand that create all this distraction that this man and his wife didn't know that they were neglecting this particular girl while showing perhaps more favor to another sibling. And he said to her, I am very sorry. And we're glad that the Lord allows opportunity for people to say they're sorry. Even a husband and wife, not a quarrel or an argument, but saying sorry is a wonderful thing. Saying sorry. And to have to grow up feeling that you're neglected and you're not loved, it's a terrible burden to walk with.
Yeah.
To shoulder, all these years. So I said to the young lady, I said, well, your dad has expressed that he's sorry, and I would like you to demonstrate that you accept his apology. And she said, thank you, Dad. I said, I'm sure you could do better than that. And they embraced each other, and it was beautiful. Reconciliation is a wonderful thing, and we can't let pride destroy us, really. Reconciliation is a fantastic thing. So when this young lady said that, my parents have never really cared for me, I hope that it was just the pressures of life that gave this imagery, this wrong concept, but that there might still be time. I thought of answering this, we thought of answering this perhaps, but it was too deep to answer in just a line. So I've chosen this format. And it says here that the brothers have often been more focused upon. My mother had 11 kids who all grew to be young men and women. I was the last of 11. And they were still calling me little brother at the age of 50. And now I have one brother left, 2 sisters. And it must be very difficult for parents to know how not to effect in a family interest in one person. It must be tough. There would be some children perhaps who are more extrovert. Some will be more introvert, of course. But for parents, it can be a tough task to know how to
not show favoritism.
Not show favoritism. But one has to really examine oneself to know, am I doing enough that they should notice me, or that, not even to notice, sorry, that's wrong. What am I doing that really comes from the heart without looking for an expression of gratitude from someone else? If I am in a family circle and I'm giving up myself, regardless of what I'm not receiving, you have the satisfaction of knowing that I did my best, right? So I believe here that this writer is going to express that. Right? They have always focused on my brothers, rarely ever spent time with me, completely neglected me, never came to my graduations, never genuinely cared like most parents do for their kids. But if that is really so, and I do not see why it cannot be so, that was a tough thing for a young person to imagine that it's really happening, or to believe that it's happening, or to actually see it happening. Now, the benefit of this is really for the younger generations that are growing up in homes. This needs to be, taken to heart. We cannot create divisions among our children. We have to be mature enough to really reach out and be positive with each child. We cannot say one is better than the other. I used to hate comparisons about myself. Maybe someone would say to me, this cousin perhaps is, or this nephew, or this second or third cousin is far sharper than I am in behavior. And I used to say, please do not compare me. Treat each child as an individual.
Yardstick, different yardstick.
Yes. Treat them with a different yardstick and help them to grow. I have had to raise myself up and be independent from a very early age, and living at home was awful.
Sad.
I remember I failed my common entrance, and my dad sent me to a school, and that was quite an experience. He was a tailor, and he made a pants for me, my first long pants for secondary school, but he used his measurements, and it was too late to alter anything. So here am I walking up, through the city, Port of Spain, and my pants is big. And I went to school, and they gave me so much of pecan. Oh boy, that pants drinking milk, boy. Jack Spaniels think that pants, boy, I was so fat. So I've had to raise myself up and be independent from a very early age. And from a very early age, we have to come face to face with a lot of things. And we want to help our children face them. Right? I moved on after high school for the sake of my mental health and to give myself a better environment. And that again is something, children need a really stable environment. They need an environment where there's love and there's care and there's that emotional growth that you're helping them go forward in life.
And a sense of security.
A sense of security. They need that. I am very happy for this comment. This comment is loaded with lots of possibilities, potential for better living in homes, right? And it's never too late, really, to try. I know there are some parents who are perhaps, they're very dogmatic. They would not budge. They have this sense of this is how I think, this is how I am, and it's not going to change. But we are older than our children, and we have to meet our children with that great sense of maturity to pull them along. And then the person says, I love my family from a distance, still care for them, but interact minimally. I love them from a distance. Every family deserves to be loved close up. Every family. I think that's one of the things that really helped me when I met Louise, Louise had lost her parents. What ages you were? They died?
I was 11.
You were 11.
And 2 years later, lost my dad.
2 years later, lost my dad. Now, I didn't marry her to save her from all of that grief. I didn't do that. But what I saw existing among them, I saw that this was a family that cared for each other, loved each other, rallied around each other, and, push on in the absence of parents who had gone. So we need to really move closer to our children and bond with them, right?
Competition is a bad thing in families.
Yes.
When parents compare because this one is doing better than the other one, that creates real division in siblings. I think that the reason why, excuse me, our family remain to be a close-knit family and being there for each other, even in our old age, we are there for each other. There was never competition and there was never comparison.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And maybe that is what was a saving grace, that we didn't despise each other. Because when comparison is made, you immediately make one feel better than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And the one who feels better will always look down on the one who feels inferior.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the reason why in families there is jealousy. Jealousy is created because of maybe comparison. One child jealous and they feel, well, you are the blue-eyed child and, you know, they are the black sheep and, you know, different things they say in families, you know.
Mm.
But I think for young people, when you have your kids, and it's not too late for parents if there have been times when they compare their children and there were times when they did not show the right attitude to their children,
Mm-hmm.
or vice versa. It's not too late to seek to make it right by simply accepting, you know, I think I would like to bridge the gap between us because, you know, I know that in the past I was not there for you. And maybe there might be a very good explanation why certain things happened. Maybe at the time the two brothers were recognized and loved, and by the time the third child comes, the child, it might be a time that hardship was in the family, that they couldn't, you know, give of themselves as they were able to give with the first two children, and different little minor things that might have been projected in the child's eye. Like I remember when our children grew up, one of the children said, but the first child had so many pictures and I didn't have much pictures. Well, the reason for that is when you have a first child, you know, you do everything in a grand way. You want to capture everything, but by the time other children come, that fantasy you had, you start to be a little more practical, you know. But it doesn't mean that you love the first child more than the others, you know. So it's good to introspect and to wonder what caused it, and that is where sometimes communication really helps, you know, to talk about it. But if the person, it's difficult to speak to the person or their reaction, it might make it worse, well then you just don't say anything. And that's why many problems remain unsolved, because you tell yourself, if I go to talk about it, it will just make it worse.
Right.
But sometimes good comes out of these things. And everybody will be happier for it.
So to come back, I can go ahead?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay. But this comment ends on a really high note, right? The kind of family I want in the future is one full of positivity, fun, empathy, sense of humor, love, etc. You know, this is great. This person is thinking about the future. They want a family full of positivity. So sometimes negative things work in a positive way too. This person now is moved. I don't want what has happened to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that for my children.
Good. So this person is right. So I think, you know, I really appreciated this comment.
I would like to just add a little bit to that last part.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I would like, if I have a family, that there will be
Positivity,
sense of humor,
fun,
positive,
empathy, right?
happiness, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
That's a plus for you to know what you want and expect out of a marriage.
That's right.
And really, these things you can only find in getting the right partner. Because if one is not happy in a marriage, a lot of negatives come out of it and is passed on to the children. But when there is love in the family, the parents love one another and treat each other with respect, and there is humor, your children will grow up knowing that, and everybody will be one big happy family. So, my dear, if you are not married or you're thinking of getting married, be sure that the person that you choose have a lot of the qualities that you are looking for, that you would like in your family life for your children. You have to find those qualities in the person that will father your children. So that's my advice to you, because you have a wonderful desire to have a happy home and happy, contented children, and everyone is positive. To achieve that, it has to start with the parents.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So make the right choice in your partner, if you have not done so yet.
Very good. Louis has a little advice for you. Kamini Parson. Lou, next time you have leftover paratha, steam it instead and see the difference. Wrap it in a tea towel and put it in a rice strainer. Then steam it over some boiling water. Better than fresh made.
That is true. That is very true. That advice you give there, because my daughter told me the same thing. She says when you put it to steam, it comes back even better than, yeah. But when you put it in the microwave, it comes out soggy if it has been left too long. So thank you for that advice. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And we have somebody living in Georgia. She's living in Georgia. She's from Trinidad. Sandra Kitwana. Yes. This person is always on Mr. Santa Morning Lives. Mm-hmm. Very nice. And there's one more that I would like.
Remember the name? Judy T.
Oh God, Judy was so jokey. So Lance Flattery will get you everywhere with Louise. While Lasana's away, Lance and Louise get to play. I thought Louise was the funny one, but you can give her a run for her money. The joke about the amputee. You don't have a leg to stand on. I know. Poor sense of humor. Right. Oh my goodness. Yes. And then, the Culinary looks good, and it is good for diabetics. We juice it raw with a whole lemon, apple, beets, celery, ginger, garlic, cucumber, and a pinch of salt.
Wow, that sounds healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice. Oh yes, Michael Zambrano, of course, he said, I'll start using that saying, green is clean. That's nice.
Green is clean.
Okay, there's one more. Somebody's going to the market. So buy some Karali. As Radha Kumar. Very nice. Okay. Right. Sally Kumar says that that she loves the way Mama Louise laughs. I'm looking for the one that I'm looking for. This will be the last, of course. Happy days. Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Happy days. Thank you for the shout out. Louis, I love to fry karate and fry plantain, but I have been watching my sugar intake. Very good. Very good. I wish that Louise would do the same. She's too carefree with her diet, right? You know, I never had a sister and always longed for one. I only have brothers, and now God has blessed me with you, my sister.
Oh,
This is such a touching thing, you know.
happy
Days.
Happy days. Happy days.
Yeah, happy days are here again.
Days.
Now, when you think of somebody saying, I never had a sister, I have had 4 sisters, and each sister would say, I've had 3 sisters. And you've had how many sisters?
5 sisters.
5 sisters, right? And how you feel about having a sister?
It's wonderful to have sisters, you know, people that, especially when you're younger, before you have a partner, you know, growing up with sisters, you know, to talk, to share secrets, to find out things that you hear but you're not too sure, so you ask your sisters, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it come like your
Yeah,
soulmate kind of thing.
that's nice. You're so loving, kind, and full of laughter, and most important, a lot of wisdom. Really? I used to have...
What's that?
Say you're so loving, kind, and full of laughter, and most important, a lot of wisdom. And I said, really?
Really?
I used to have my mom as my sister, my friend.
Oh,
That's nice, huh? You have a member of your family as I used to have my dad as my brother. I remember once Brandon was saying to Lasana, you know, Daddy, you're my partner. And that was such a touching thing to hear his little fellow, you know, he's seen his daddy as a partner. And to see, you know, this a daughter is saying, now this is a difference here in the first letter I read, eh? This letter is saying that, you know,
her mother was her friend
this one is saying that my mother is my friend.
and her sister.
And her sister, right? I think of you as my beautiful sister since I'll be this age, sending all my love, hugs, and kisses to you and my brother-in-law Lance. Well, I say happy days.
You get
I get some family.
recognition, man.
Yes,
But you know you're always loved by whoever loves me.
yes,
They
that
always
is
love
true.
you.
That is true. That is true. Happy days. I am glad to be your brother-in-law. I am very happy to be your brother-in-law, and I'm happy to be Deborah Suraj's dad.
Right.
The family's getting pretty extended. You know?
I tell you,
So my
adoption papers will run out.
yes. So my
Adopted sister, adopted children, adopted grandchildren, adopted
Yes.
brother.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
man.
And there's Sisha Bola, thank you very much. Amy Thompson, very sending love from Canada and returning love to Canada. Amy. Susie, yes, right. All the wonderful wishes coming our way. I wish we could all be very happy for everybody, you know. Sandra Mahadio,
Shouting out to all of you.
all of you wonderful people out there.
Yes, we appreciate
Yes.
all the words of wisdom too coming from you all.
Yeah. And you know, since Lyndon and Lasana started these shows, and Kim, and even Alice, you know, it was wonderful to see the kind of fraternity that is developing among, you know, people on the chat and YouTubers on the whole. You know, it's wonderful. They're highlighting the culture of the land. They're highlighting the, you know, the way we live in our country. I think it's fine. And our heart goes out to the young man up there in San Souci whose daughter died, and she died of this, you know, of cancer. We feel it for the family.
Young daughter, very sad.
I remember when my brother died at the age of 27. My brother died at the age of 27, and I remember my mother there. She had this old coal pot, and the old heaters were down in it, and she was doing the day of his burial. She was just there ironing the clothes. And I stood up there. I was 8 years old at the time, right? And I looked at her, and I was trying to imagine. I mean, an 8-year-old boy mightn't be taking on that kind of thing, but there was something so solemn in her action that I could feel that my mother is grieving for the loss of her first male child, right?
Yeah.
And there she is just ironing, and I could see the grief in her. So our hearts go out to that family there in Toko region, to think that this young 16-year-old person died. And, we really wish them that they will keep the memory of her courage while she had this ailment, alive, and be thankful that she was brave. And her courage would help them to move on positively. So friends, thank you very much. I trust that we could continue to be friends and family. And you think we should have this piece of pizza?
No. Mr. Lassanan. Mr. Sanna's name is written on that.
Okay. No favorites here, right?
No favorites.
We had ours and Sanna gets his, right?
That's right.
Okay, so thank you, folks.
Bye, and thank you all so much for all the beautiful comments. And Judy T, I think I'm going to try that drink with the Karaili and the different things you mentioned. So I'll have to read it again because I can't even remember now. I hope it will help memory as well. Bye.